Monday. It is the 10th of October today, and I have just finished having my breakfast of some vanilla kefir with some granola, some raspberries, honey, and I sprinkled a little bit of this flaxseed and chia seed mix over the top in the flavour apple and cinnamon, which is absolutely delicious. A little bit really boosts the flavour, and flaxseed and chia seeds are obviously very good for you. But if you're looking for something different to sprinkle into your porridge and your oats or, you know, your yogurt, highly recommend that. It's very delicious. So I have just received my delivery of HelloFresh in this humongous box. So I did actually plan to start it last week. However, there was a bit of a mix-up with my delivery. The box got damaged, they couldn't deliver it, a little bit of a rigmarole, but it's here now. So I thought I would open the box with you. I'm a complete HelloFresh newbie, never had it before, so this is my very first box. So I've got no idea what it's going to consist of, but I thought it'd be quite fun on a Monday morning to open it with you guys and have a look. Obviously I picked out the meals that we was going to have. Some marketing things, I think. We'll have a look at that later. So I believe that these are the recipe cards. What on earth is this? I think that's just the sort of like insulation to keep it nice and cool. So the meals that I have chosen for this week is lamb and chickpea stew. Doesn't that look delicious? And this one is a 15-minute prep, I think. So yeah, that one. And then it's got the sort of how to make on the back with all the nutritional information. I also chose the crispy sea bream and lime coriander rice. This is a 30 to 35 minutes preparation. I chose a herby parsley chicken with sticky baked veg and crispy kale. That looks super yummy. And then also a sweet potato, ginger and garlic chicken stew. Oh, delicious. Some of the sort of like options that I chose when I was selecting my meals were the more lower calorie options and sort of like less carb heavy. I was looking for things that used vegetables more as their carb source, so like sweet potato, that kind of thing, and rice, rather than sort of like wraps and things. There is a very good selection and a good mix on there. I feel like it's got something for everybody. Obviously I can't speak for what the meals taste like yet because I'm yet to make them, but I think after this week I'll have a pretty decent idea. Oh, they've sent me a Fentimans ginger beer. That's very nice of them. Guess that's just like a little freebie promo. Right, so as I'm looking in the box, it just looks like all the recipes are within this. So does it have, oh I see, so basically everything for each recipe are in like a little bag, and you've got the recipe number on the top there. So I imagine that 29 corresponds to this 29 bag. I'll just grab these ones out. It's really handy that it's all in a little bag ready to go, and you can just decide which recipe you want. Ah, very interesting. I have no idea. I've also got some kind of chia batter roll, a chicken stock paste, and then some little sort of free box options. I feel like this is probably like meat or something. I'd imagine that they put their chilled goods inside. Ah, okay, that makes sense. So they've sent all of the sort of like store cupboardy things in them bags, and then this will have the things that are chilled and fresh. So we have some fish, some sea bream, ice baby packs. What's this? Diced chicken thigh, lamb mince, and some chicken breast fillet, and a garlic. So, okay. So I suppose you just use whichever protein source goes with the meal and pop them in the fridge with your bags. So yeah, I'm very excited to try. I'm not sure which meal we're going to have tonight. I think I'm going to let Jim have a little look through and pick which one he wants for this evening. Yeah, another thing I wanted to talk about, I have decided to change my name on Instagram, and I'm in kind of two minds whether to change it on YouTube as well. So my name for the past few years has been Weight Loss Panda, as you know. If anybody's wondering what the panda aspect to that is, my favourite animal is a panda, and I've absolutely adored them since I was like, I don't know, 13, 14, and I ended up with the nickname Panda, so that's where that comes from. But it kind of occurred to me that I think just sort of like weight loss, having that in the title, can possibly be quite off-putting to some people, because I suppose we're living in this society now where we are embracing our bodies and we don't want to be sort of told that we have to lose weight or we have to look a certain way to feel good. And I just kind of realised that, you know, that's not my main sort of mission objective. My main sort of focus and goal is to create a really sort of all-round healthy, happy life, and that includes a lot of different things. It includes working on my mental health and my anxiety, strengthening sort of like my cognitive pathways to think better, and obviously improve my overall health and fitness. And weight loss is included in that. I'm not going to deny that. I do want to lose weight, and the reasons that I want to lose weight is because I'm not currently sort of happy with my body image. I'm not happy with my fitness level, and if I could lose an amount, you know, a fairly decent amount of weight, I know that that's going to help with my lipedema and just getting into a much better routine and a much better healthy lifestyle going forward. That's going to be much more productive for my lipedema in future. So that's kind of like in a little bit of a nutshell. I think another sort of like aspect I want to start focusing on a little bit more is just the sort of cognitive behaviours around why we struggle to lose weight sometimes. I know for me, I've done a lot of reflecting and a lot of thinking about my relationship with food, and how from a very early age it was just there since day one. It kind of feels like I was somewhat born this way. It wasn't, it's something that I feel like's just always been a bit of an issue, and I want to try and grasp a good understanding as to why. And I know throughout my life I've picked up bad habits and used sort of like food as coping mechanisms and all that. So I'm just hoping that with a fresh new approach, I'm sort of like focusing on the things that matter, like I'm losing weight for these reasons, and sharing more of that aspect of my journey. It is going to be something that helps me to sort of keep doing it day in, day out, and building this new lifestyle that I really want to achieve. One other thing that I've done is I ordered a couple of books that I think I do. They're sort of like arriving at different times, which is fine because I'll just start reading whichever one comes first. But I did a bit of research into books that sort of like are more, not necessarily like diet books, but more cognitive behavioural therapies around food. So, you know, why do we overeat? Why do we use food as comfort? And that kind of thing. So I will share them with you when they arrive, and probably share my thoughts on them on Instagram and here as well. But yeah, I just thought I would mention it because I think it would be a bit weird if I just changed my name and just didn't sort of like give any reason as to why. But I do think it's a better fit. I really like Wellness Panda, which is now my new name, and like I said, I probably will change it to Wellness Panda on YouTube as well. But I thought I would just explain a little bit about it first. So I'm going to go and pop these bags into the fridge. I might see if I can work out which recipes require which protein source and pop them in, just so it is literally just grabbing the bag out of the fridge and the recipe card. And then today it's a bit of a mixed bag. I've got some work to do, I've got some house tidying to do, and then I'm helping Jim with a couple of things that he has to do as well. But I'm kind of seeing today as a little bit of a fresh start, a little bit of a new sort of like chapter. It's not like a complete overhaul, it's just sort of getting back into them healthy routines and re-inspiring myself, and just hopefully sticking with it, because that is the key here, is consistency. There was something else I was going to say. Oh, that's it. So on my NutriCheck app, which is the app that I use to sort of monitor my caloric intake, I have also now added a carbohydrate goal. And this week I'm not going to be super strict about making sure I'm sort of like at that goal or under. It's just for me to gauge an idea of where my carb sources are coming from, which foods maybe I need to be a little bit more wary of, as just sort of like a standard. I'm trying to sort of cut back on as many refined carbs as possible, and like I always say, trying to make sure that the carb sources I do get are like whole grain or complex. It's not just refined white bread or something like that. And the reason I'm saying that is because I don't react well. My lipedema is basically refined white flour and a lot of other things actually. It's essentially like throwing petrol onto a fire is a good sort of like metaphor to what it is like, because it's one of them things that I'm constantly fighting against, and I'm constantly denying myself the fact that, you know, that is not good for me in any aspect. I suppose in very sort of like every now and again terms it's fine, but it's something that I really need to work on eliminating day in, day out, and something that I have decided that I'm going to start doing as well, which might help you if you're also struggling. I noticed a pattern of when I didn't eat as well as I would like to. It wasn't sort of like a conscious decision, it was just, I just kind of like didn't allow myself to kind of think about what I was doing. It was kind of just like kind of like going along with the flow. So I'm trying to make sure that every food choice I make over these next few months are going to be like a conscious decision. So before sort of like I have a meal or decide that I'm going to have something, I've got to ask myself, is this going to benefit my health and wellness journey? Is this going to benefit sort of like reducing the pain and inflammation with my lipedema? And if the answer is no, and I am aware of that, the chances are I'm not going to eat it, because when I'm like in full awareness, I don't make bad choices. It's when I allow sort of them subconscious habitual habits to come in, or just don't allow myself to truly think about what I'm doing, it's when sort of I start to slip. So that's something I'm going to try over the next few weeks, few months, and just see how I go. But better go put this food in the fridge. And yeah, happy Monday. So 2 of the books that I've ordered have arrived, and I do have a couple more. I ordered the book In Defense of Food by Michael Pollan. I've watched the documentary and I absolutely loved it, and that's sort of like the lifestyle that I'm striving to achieve. So I thought it would be really good to have a copy of the book. I've never actually read the book. Like I say, I've watched the documentary and I loved it. So that's on order. I do believe there's another one, but these 2 have just arrived and I thought I would share them with you. So this one is called Heal Your Relationship with Food, and Effective Strategies to Help You Think Differently and Overcome Problems with Eating, Emotions and Body Image. And this one is the DBT Solution for Emotional Eating, and it's a proven program to break the cycle of binging and out of control eating. I thought I would just share the introductions with you because I've just read them and I'm already instantly hooked and very fascinated to see what they are going to say, and if it's going to help me think a little bit differently or learn to understand myself a little bit more. So my eating is out of control. I never seem to get full. Sometimes I'm in control of my eating and other times I totally lose it. It's like there's a switch that gets turned on or off. That is exactly how I feel. When I get overwhelmed, I feel I have to eat. Our relationship with food has a huge impact on the quality of our lives. It can also be quite complicated. In the most straightforward way, food is the fuel our bodies need to keep us alive. But anyone who battles with out of control eating knows it isn't quite that simple. Eating is tied to a host of emotions ranging from great pleasure to deep distress. If you have picked up this book, it's very likely your relationship with food is interfering with the life you want to live, and that you're looking for tools to help. So that's in a nutshell that the solution, the DBT solution for emotional eating and heal your relationship with food. Food, it is part of all our lives and a basic need for survival. It is necessary for our growth and strength. It is also part of how we enjoy life and connect with others. Despite this, many people struggle with their relationship with food and can develop all-consuming problems with this vital aspect of life. Eating problems can take many different forms. You may constantly want to diet or find yourself focused on clean eating or weight loss, despite this focus making you unhappy and preoccupied. Or you may have issues with eating past comfortable fullness, feeling out of control when you eat, or finding that you eat in response to emotions. Other people use extreme behaviours to manage feelings of fear or guilt about eating, such as vomiting, driven exercise, misusing laxatives or taking diet pills. Often these eating problems start in an effort to feel better about some aspect of life, but few people feel happy about being so preoccupied with eating, not to mention the physical and psychological consequences that can be a result. If you have picked up this book, we think that you or someone you care about may be finding these various forms of eating problems distressing, exhausting, frustrating, and getting in the way of living the life you want to live. Eating problems often develop gradually. They may start with small changes here and there in your attitudes and behaviours towards food. Before you know it, these thoughts and eating behaviours can start to cause problems in your life. And then it sort of goes on to explain the common signs that you might be developing. But in a nutshell, they're both hopefully going to help me understand a little bit more about sort of some of the cognitive behaviours that I have that I'm not totally aware of right now. And I know I've spoken about this quite a lot in previous videos about how I acknowledge and understand that there is an issue there, and I feel like it's been there, you know, for a very long time. But I think this is the first time I've actually put action to that, and I think it's definitely a missing link in the puzzle as to, you know, why I've been starting afresh, doing really well. I do great for a month, then something will happen and I'll sort of like go back into old habits, or drop off the wagon and then pick it back up again, drop off the wagon, and it's just this really exhausting cycle of the same patterns that I want to break. And I think knowledge is power, and I feel like the more that I am aware and the more I learn, hopefully that'll give a little bit of an insight into why I do the things I do sometimes, and hopefully I can begin the process to change it. So yeah, super excited to read more into these, and I will keep you updated on what I find. So it's now 20 to 7 and we have decided to go for the herby parsley chicken for our dinner tonight. The prep time is 40 to 45 minutes. Jim's just out running a couple errands, so I thought I'd start it now and it should be done for just about when he gets back. So I've grabbed my bag of ingredients out of the out of the fridge, and this is my first HelloFresh meal, so let's see how it goes. So we have an issue. I took all the ingredients out of the recipe bag and they had forgot to put in the kale. So I checked the other bags to make sure it had not been put in there by mistake, and it hadn't. So yeah, missing the kale ingredient for that meal. So I've just decided to make the sweet potato, ginger and garlic chicken stew instead, and I suppose I'll just pick up some kale tomorrow for that meal. Don't seem to have much luck with HelloFresh, guys, so far, I have to say, but hopefully this will be really tasty, and all of the other meals will have all the ingredients ready for them. So yeah, let's get making dinner. I've just finished my dinner and the verdict is very, very yummy. That was absolutely delicious. So the sweet potato, ginger and garlic chicken stew is a massive winner. I could have eaten that 10 times over. Something I noticed was like the portion size was a lot smaller than what I would normally have. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think that's a total normal size for an adult. I just have to get into recognizing what is probably a little bit too, because I do feel full and satisfied now. It's not like I'm thinking it's left me really, really hungry or anything. And sometimes I'll have a dinner and I'll think, oh, I'm absolutely stuffed. So it's finding a balance between being comfortably satisfied and overly full. But yeah, really good. I think I've got about 60 to 80 calories left of my calorie goal for today, so I might have a little bit of yogurt and some fruit for dessert if I want it later. I have upped my calorie goal a little bit. It's now 1,500 as opposed to 1,400. I'm gonna see how I get on with that. I might sort of dabble around with it over the next couple of weeks, but we'll see how I get on with that for now. Was there anything else I was going to... Oh yeah, I did weigh in today. I weighed in this morning, so I'm going to be updating my weight a week today, next Monday, and do sort of like a weigh-in, an actual weigh-in video then, and see where I'm at after sort of like a week being back on track. But yeah, so really happy with this meal. Obviously a little bit annoying that an ingredient was missing from the other one, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure they'll give me some credit to make up for it or whatever. But yeah, that was so tasty, so I'm very, very, very happy. I'm going to end today's video here so I can get it edited and uploaded. So if you have enjoyed it, please do give me a thumbs up because it really makes me smile. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please hit subscribe and I'll send you all the happy vibes. And until next time's video, which will hopefully be tomorrow, stay happy, healthy and well. Love you all. Bye.